Sorry I'm late. I'm finding it tricky to take a Zoom link from my phone onto my computer. It's all good.
Okay. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks. Did you have a good one?
It was good. It was good. I actually, Friday was more of the celebration because I had 2 Mother's Days at schools. And that was really sweet. And yeah, so it was good.
What was your favorite thing?
I don't know. It was just better than expected. Kit did a presentation and he actually participated and he sang and it was, you had the whole class in front and he's not really normally like that, so it was good. And then Sebi, oh, and Kit had made me a glass necklace thing, which was pretty cool. And all the parents got that, but it was pretty cool. And Sebi had done so, but he's little, and you could see the teachers had done it. But it was just sweet how they're so enthusiastic. Oh, and they did a video at the nursery school that and it was Sebi saying, "I love you, mommy," and yeah. So no, it was cute.
Yeah, very cool. I think confidence is contagious and confidence in whatever realm, whether it's at school or home or anything, it does impact our kids. Whether it's a negative energy or a positive energy, it definitely reflects in our kids. So
A quick and I've noticed very quickly, like I can have an off day and boys are off, which is I find really frustrating because I've worked so hard to get that energy up, and then I'm sick or something and it's down again. But it does recover quite quickly as well.
yeah,
But I hate the fact that it mirrors me quite so closely.
no.
So yeah, I think with time they'll get a bit more resilient and not so linked to me.
Yeah, it's a practice for sure.
Yeah.
It's a practice, and the more it's practiced, the better it becomes. So, with all of that, are you ready to move forward?
Yes, I have a very begrudging husband,
Okay,
but I'm going for it.
good. Fantastic. And yeah, and we'll talk about when those coaching calls are, and um, that way you can definitely hop in on them. So let's go ahead and get your card in and everything.
Yep,
And okay,
find it.
are you
Hang on.
excited?
Yeah, no, I am. I've decided that it's now or never.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm still coughing.
Yep, you're good. Um, okay. I put everything in here ready for you. As far as the stuff that I could do from my end, I'm gonna save this piece and let's get this um link. So your husband he struggled a little bit.
Oh yeah. He does not think I need the help. He also thinks that I'm sold on anything that I come across. But I did say this has been 6 months of me trying not to. So, yeah.
Well, I hope you're proud of yourself for doing what you felt was right. And that's really hard to.
Well, honestly, I think that it's not like I mean, yes, hopefully there are massive benefits, but if there aren't, it's just money. And it's yeah, it'll be fine. And the other thing is, I'm currently interviewing for a part-time job, so that's when I decided, fine, I will pay him back if he really wants it. It's
Well,
not that bad, and I'm making him out to be terrible. It's not like that. It's just I yeah, it is. I
it's
also spent a fortune on kids' summer camps. 2 summer camps for 3 hours a day cost more than this. So,
I'm not sure. View payment link, copy. Okay. Yeah, and when it comes to value, it's it's just a tricky getting support for our own mind and peace and in the parenting realm, which is the most important job ever. It's like that should be okay too, with all the
Absolutely. And I think also not having as many role models around. I mean, I had lots when I was growing up, and I feel like I've got it intrinsically, I've got it. I just
Mhm.
need a little bit of, I don't know, a bit of know-how. But the most important point for me is being brought up differently and trying to do things differently. I wanted to tell you, yesterday we were at Friends, and a little boy the same age as Kit and a little girl the same age as Sebi, and they were playing, and then the big boys wanted to stay in the room and build a train track, and they were trying to shove the little ones out. And I heard the screaming, and I went to go and investigate. And I think normally I would have just used force and made sure that there was space between them, and whereas I just I don't know, it was all calm, and we managed to get them to agree to keep the door open, and that a train track that went from the one room to the other would be much more fun, and working as a team would be more effective. But can I tell you that I think my little kid and possibly Sebi, they're a bit different. Like you can, it was either these friends' kids were a bit shocked I was talking like this, or they just responded to it because they were the ones who responded and said, "Oh, that's a good idea." Whereas my two would have been like, "Oh, mom's talking again." Like, shush, mom. So I have to figure out how it will work for Kit and Sebi because it's not as straightforward. I can say the right words. It's just not. I'm not connecting to my children as
Mhm.
well as I could. I've got to get on my
Okay.
wavelength.
Do you have time today to get your onboarding call and we can go through some things and get you some strategies right away? Do you have time for that
How
right?
long is that?
It's generally about an hour or less. I mean, it's just, I just want to give you some immediate, strategies and just set you off right away. But first,
Um,
um, what is your email?
Robyn, ROBYN .lets, LETTS @gmail.com.
Okay.
Yep, Robyn Letts.
I love how that is spelled. Okay. Country.
Canada.
Hmm. Okay. Canada. I've been to Canada and it is pretty.
We love it.
Um, okay. That looks like it. Let's see how this works. Oh, postal code.
V3H.
Is this all lowercase?
I don't think it matters. We
Okay.
normally do it uppercase.
Oh, we'll try uppercase. Okay, V3.
V3.
Have have you invested in yourself before more on the not academic side, but more on the mindset, those soft skills? Have you invested much?
No, never. So what I do at the moment is I'm doing ice skating lessons, and and I'm loving it. And so that, yeah, so I know the feeling that this is that ice skating is for me. This feels a bit different, but I think it will be the same. This is more
Okay.
for us, which is good.
Yeah, yes, and everyone will benefit for sure. And it is the best feeling even when your kids go into straight meltdown, just like you said, that happened the other day. You're just able to remain so calm.
For a while it does get to me, and also it gets to me when, but this isn't a thing I have to talk to my husband about, is I'm trying to approach the meltdown gently, and he's just had enough, and then he takes
Mhm.
over. So I need to figure that out, because it's, yeah, we have always had the same approach. So me shifting a little bit, but he understands there are positives, but it's not always positive, because I'm learning and it doesn't always work, and then it just continues, and a little bit of patience would help.
Can I give you a strategy?
Yes.
All right. And so just to really quickly back up, my girl Janice will get your email into our system, and then you'll be sent the link to get the program. Okay. It's a new platform that we have just moved stuff over to, and so it doesn't automatically go in from my end yet. That will happen very, very soon. Okay, so when your kiddo is kind of, just in a state of dysregulation, depending on where that brain is. Have we talked about this? Do we need to talk about this again?
No, I think I get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But before they're here, when they're here, they just most likely need our presence.
Yeah.
They need us to stop talking, unless we just want to read our kiddos. Sometimes they may, depending on what our kiddo's temperament is, they may need us to soothe them. Some kids just want our presence, just to say nothing, and some kids want us to go away. Truly. Most kids don't want us to go away. No child ever wants to be sent away.
No.
And so we just decide, what does our kid need right now? With that said, their feelings are not our responsibility. Okay, so we can release this need to stop the crying. We can release the need. And actually, if we can even flip it, do they need to get this out? They just need a good cry. They need to get it out, and we don't have to have any story around it. Okay. And that should hopefully feel a little bit relieving. I know it can be grating on our system and on our ears, but when we realize that it's not it's not our business. It's not okay, it is our business because they're our little treasures, but it's not our responsibility to fix their sadness or to fix their discomfort. What our responsibility is just to stay as regulated as possible, whether we tap, breathe, whatever it is that we can do, so that they remember the biggest energy, the most powerful energy will overtake the weaker energy. So if we can have a more powerful energy of calm, it will suck them in to our energy. That's just how that should relate to you in the physics world, right?
Sure.
So, and that actually has something to do with our mirror neuron system too. We are wired to imitate those around us. I think we've chatted about that a little bit. And so when we can just do our breathe, whatever it is, they will find calmness in our calm and calm down. So a strategy though, a one-liner, okay, because those are so nice, is let me know when. You may have heard this one before. So like when my foster son, when he is mad, sad, whatever the emotion is, I make sure that his need is met, that he knows I'm not leaving, that he knows I understand. He knows I get it. That's the first piece, because our kiddos really aren't going to calm down unless they kind of know that we get it. And the next thing is we can just, when you feel that they can receive, okay? If they're here, they may not receive, but before they get here, we can say this one-liner, or when they're starting to calm down, we can say this one-liner. We can say, let me know when you're done being mad, or let me know when you're done being sad, or whatever emotion they're feeling. And then we want to give a choice. Give them some power back. We just want to say something like, let me know when, come tell me, and we'll make cookies together, or we'll go for a walk, or we will do something, get their brain moving forward. Or you could even offer a choice. Let me know when my kiddos are actually using the word regulation now, because I can say, let me know when you're regulated. Then, you can come let me know. Are you going to ride your bike, or you want to make cookies? Just let me know. And it gives them power, and they don't have to stay stuck. Because if I said, you're fine, go do this thing, I've dictated two things to them. I have kept all the power, and I've even taken more power, right? Because I told them how they feel, and I've told them what to do. So the only way they can maintain any kind of control is to resist,
Yeah.
right? So how does that feel? Do I need to explain that again? Are there any pieces that don't feel right?
No, I like it.
Oh,
I think what gets me is I have generally got both boys doing it at the same time.
okay.
So even if it's Kit will be calm and Sebi will be losing it.
Mm-hmm.
Kit will either try. I think I was discussing with you how Sebi tries to hurt Kit because he's not listening to him or whatever the case is. So then I've possibly got two little boys who are completely out of it, or I've got Kit trying to help but actually making things worse.
Okay.
So it's just it becomes hard trying to manage both at
Mm-hmm.
the same time.
Um, so as you start to reframe or enhance your communication around them being a team, it will come easier in a time
Yeah,
of dysregulation. As you're using this language of, how are you supporting your brother? And we haven't talked about, did we talk about tattling and how that turns to victimize? Okay, it was Kristen. Okay. So we can talk about that. But whenever as you communicate more around them being a brotherly team, that will start to be available to you and to them during a time of dysregulation.
yeah.
So then if Kit is trying to help Sibby and it's not being helpful, then you can go in because you've practiced this and try it like this, say it like this, and maybe and that will help Sibby you know cooperate also.
Mm. I think my main problem at the moment is um, it's possibly basic needs. Like things go really well, and then I don't know, they're hungry, or and dinner's a bit later than it should be, or so.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like the only way to solve Kit's problem when it is 5:30 in the evening is to feed him. There is nothing else that will. He is trying. He has no idea that it's blood sugar that is his problem. He thinks it's whatever's the end of the
Mm-hmm.
world. So I almost find myself just packing up, forcing it to just end so we can get into so I can get food into his system.
Mm-hmm.
So that is definitely something that I struggle with. Um, and it's frustrating because I know I can prepare for that. And yeah, I guess organization I find before I had kids easy. Since I've had kids, practically impossible. I'm getting there, and I have to get better, especially if I get a job to fill up my hours, because otherwise things do fall apart, and I can't afford for them to. We just have chaos, and it's preventable chaos. um,
Well, a word of caution. So our job, and tell me if you agree or disagree, but our job is to equip our kids, and if we
yes,
always prevent them feeling hard feelings from tuning in and noticing, solving their own problems, if we are always making sure that things don't fall apart, then we're not equipping them. We're
yeah,
just rescuing. But we can try and notice, and then we can offer them to notice. Like, I notice your voice is getting a little higher pitched over the last few minutes. Why don't you do an energy check in? What is your body telling you? Have we talked? We've talked
oh,
about
we
it.
have, and I think I've ruined that one already because Kit doesn't like it.
Um, okay. All right. My mind immediately went to playfulness. Um, so we can talk about why he doesn't like it, but you could do, if you're like, do you want to do, well, we can talk about what you did to ruin it, because I don't think so. But, if I had a kiddo when they were resisting, I was like, oh, don't worry, I'll do one for you. Oh, gosh. you are feeling all kinds of crazy, and just
Okay.
be silly. And kids
Yeah.
love it when they can correct their adult. And as long as it's a respectful thing, we should invite that.
Yeah.
So,
I
and
do. I think I tend to seriousness, which doesn't help.
it's hard. But when we can go into playful, it automatically pulls all their power from that fight or flight system
Yeah.
into their prefrontal cortex, and they're just more available to cooperate,
Yeah.
to listen, to hear, to receive. And so are we. We
Yes.
just pull everyone's power back up here, and playfulness does that every time.
Yeah.
And unless they're too far gone, then that's just gonna, tick them off more.
Yeah.
But that's immediately what my mind went to, and kids love that. And you could say something like super crazy. Okay, I'll do an energy check for you. Why is your energy telling me that your feet stink? What is happening? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
get super silly, and when you do that, it just checks so many boxes. It checks
Yeah.
their connection, it fills them up with attention and love, and not only the positives of coming back into cooperation, but it's just so many things that playfulness can do.
Mm.
Okay.
Yep, I could use that reminder. My husband is really good at that. He does lots playfulness. And
Yeah.
he recovers us often by just being silly.
Yeah. It's magic. It really is magic. Um, so again, how can we model this? This is a strategy. It's a very skillful parenting strategy, that playfulness. And so where I always go is, how can I model that for my kid to model with the other kid, right? Because they love embodying that leadership, right?
Mm.
And so um, you could even, how old is Kit again?
6,
He's 6, and Sibby's 3.
4. They're both just turned 6 and 4.
Okay. Um, yeah, Kit may really love if you could be like, if he's trying to get Sibby to calm down, or he's trying to be a good leader and a good brother to Sibby, you could be like, bump him on the elbow, or just maybe come up with a cue if he's into that. And what is play? Play is this, actually, in sign language.
Okay.
And um, you could say, how can you be playful and help him along here? If that feels natural, if you can pull him in, that's definitely, my daughter is, she's super equipped, and she's older. So I could do this, but I haven't, but I'm going to, because I didn't even think about this. With our guy, just how can you use playfulness as a really solid strategy? And she's going to be all in, and so will he. So thank you for letting me describe all of that.
It's a pleasure.
So yeah. So how do you think you ruined it?
Because he's told me, no, I don't want to do that. No, Mom, I'm not doing that. Mom, I'm fine. He does this and he's like, Mom, I'm fine. Go away.
Well, then we can, perfect. So he does it. Mom, I'm fine. Okay, great. You're fine. Come in with me. Like, honor it as if it worked.
Yeah, except I think also I'm timing it incorrectly. Like I know he's completely overwhelmed at that point.
It's okay. Honor it anyways. Let him feel successful in it working, and he will start to be like, oh, that worked. That's giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Unless, you know what I mean? Unless it truly isn't possible to do that. But if he's like, I'm fine, you can be like, oh, okay, great, you're fine. Thank you for telling me. So you just want him to feel successful in,
Even if I know he's not fine.
yeah, if he says he's fine, just believe him.
Okay.
Can you share this scenario where he was not fine, or where you feel like he wasn't fine?
So we were at the shopping center and he's in charge of fetching the cart and putting the money in so that he can get it. And I had put Sebi in it because that's how we manage Sebi. And he was just scooting all over the place with it. And so, I mean, he was having fun, but it's a parking lot. There were cars and it's dangerous. And I probably should have done a check before that, rather than in the moment when things were going wrong. So yeah, it did feel like I just messed it up.
Yeah. And so you're right. Before is, I have a little rhythm that I do when my kids, they don't ask. They have to ask to be unbuckled. When anywhere we park, they have to ask to be unbuckled. And that when they say, "Mommy, can I unbuckle?" that is my cue to do any front loading that I need to do.
Okay. Yeah.
That's my cue. Oh, right, guys. Tell me what the expectations are. Tell me how you're going to be your best self. What needs to happen? And I'm making them tell me. It's not me saying you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to
Yes.
do this.
Yes.
They're telling me, they're telling me, they're telling me. I might, if they, and I might throw in silly. And you have to fly around the store. Don't forget that. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
um,
Okay.
and then so, we want him to know that you trust him. And he does. He does, he does. But when he says something to you, just believe it. And if he says, "Mom, I'm fine," be like, "Okay, thanks for letting me know."
Okay.
And just he'll be like, "Whoa, thanks for letting me know you can be your best self."
Yes. Okay.
How does that feel?
Yeah. I can't promise I'll have the words.
And then if you don't have the words, then you jump into our private group and you type out what it was that just happened, and then I will hop on and give you um, an exact strategy, or another team or another parent will. So there's lots of support in our private parent student group.
Okay. Okay. No, we'll.
And you've got to do it 20 times. Unless you have a delay, then maybe more, which,
Sure.
sometimes I wonder
Sure. Sure.
with me.
Okay. No, that's.
Okay, so how about we do a recap? That
Yeah.
way I don't give you so much,
Yeah.
on your first little um, thing here. So we talked about this, well, just the thing that's coming. What you tell me what's most meaningful to you, and because if you tell me, you'll remember it more.
No, I guess it's the most recent thing. Probably playfulness.
Mm,
And
okay.
funnily enough, when I am feeling well, it comes to me naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a pause. I'm like, oh, I don't actually care if my bed's not made. I'm going to make this, Sebi has this irritating thing. I'll make my bed, and then he will get in and pull all the sheets off and make a house. And he loves it. It's one of his best things. And when I'm feeling fine, I actually don't care if my bed's not made. I do just have to have it covered because the cats lie on it and make it dirty. So, um, and if I'm feeling fine, I don't mind making my bed 5 times or getting. I try not to because it does. Actually, I mind, but it's not. I'm not going to yell. Whereas when I'm not feeling well, I've had enough. So when I'm feeling fine, I can make it into a game, and I don't know. I can even get Sebi's help making my bed. It's just when I'm not feeling well that those kinds of strategies abandon me, and yeah. So playfulness is probably not something that comes to me naturally. And when I'm open and then I don't even have to think about it. I know that that's the easiest way to
Mm-hmm.
get to my goal. So yeah, playfulness definitely needs work. Um, and and for me, front loading works really well. I'm having trouble with Sebi though, because he'll even tell me. I'll ask him what the expectations are or whatever, and he'll say once he's finished playing, yes, he needs to pack away and they need to clear this so that the Roomba can turn on or whatever the case is. And but by the time we get there, not a chance. There's no follow through, and at that point, it's usually too late. And yeah, I feel like then he's walking all over me because he gets his way. Um, so yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I have a whole strategy for that. I have a whole strategy for the bed.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Sorry, this was meant to be a recap.
no, yeah. Recap. Um, what else was um what else was meaningful to you today that you want to just noodle in your brain and try to embody.
Maybe believe Kit. Even
Ah,
if I know he's talking rubbish and he is
yeah,
dysregulated as anything, but he tells me he's fine. Or,
yeah.
yeah. Um,
And yeah, okay. And so yeah, when he says, I'm fine, you're like, oh, thank you for telling me. Um, thank you for letting me know you can be your best self.
yeah.
It just sets him up. That's one that I use a lot. Thanks for letting me know you can be your best self. Because they're never gonna say, no, I can't. Because they don't
No.
they they don't want to. They want to do well. They really, really do.
Yeah.
And you want to use that in times of regulation, right? So that it
Yes.
feels good. So
Yes.
next time he's doing, um, I don't know, maybe to ease him into this, you could, if he's doing something well, you could just like look at that as an opportunity to be like, hey, Kit, how are you feeling? And you could even say, you don't have to do a temperature check. I'm just wondering, how are you feeling? And he might be like, I'm feeling pretty good. And you'd be like, oh, thanks for letting me know.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me know you can be your best self. And start to capitalize on, an easy opportunity so that he has it and you have it when it becomes harder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know.
No, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said playfulness, believing him. Kids love it when adults, um, when they can correct adults. So if you ever, gosh, okay, I'm going into a different strategy, but if you ever tell him what he's feeling, always say, it seems like you're feeling this. And never, I can tell you're mad. Because, well, if you say, I can tell you're mad, that just reaffirms and it doesn't really give them an opportunity to come out of it as easily as it seems like you're mad. Is that true? You know,
Yeah.
um, yeah. So, all right, playfulness, believing him. What else?
Um,
And if that's enough, that's it. That's okay.
Probably just to remember that I try not to be a rescuer, but I am a peacekeeper by
Mm,
nature. And so I am completely on board with the equipping kids, and I am completely okay with them having small accidents so that they learn the big, they're more aware. So that I feel like that's been me my whole time. But
mhm.
I do try and ease the day for
Mhm.
myself almost to
Yeah,
avoid all the screaming and shouting. I try and make sure everything is lined up.
yeah,
Um, but but I find that exhausting. um, so but I know, but blah. So I kind of wonder whether um I need my boys to learn how to do their bit. And funnily enough, I was discussing, we came up yesterday and then I didn't follow through with it, but maybe we need an evening task list so that our mornings are not, because I asked them, the mornings are, yesterday morning was a disaster and we had to be somewhere and we were late. And I said, well, how are we going to make that better? And they both independently came up with stuff and it was awesome. But then they decided they would, you know, they wouldn't they wouldn't both have to do, I don't know, socks and shoes. Maybe Sebi could do shoes, and Kit came up with the fact that actually water bottles is difficult. He'll do that. Sebi gets shoes. It was really sweet, but then I didn't have the momentum to continue through with that.
okay. Um,
Do you see? I sort of feel like I'm doing lots, but they're not
yeah,
focusing the effort.
right. Yes. So anytime you're having a challenge and it's kind of becoming a pattern, then you can be like, okay, so then that's the time when they're in the car, buckled in, because
Yeah,
that then we can have, or at dinner time if it's calm. If dinner time's crazy, this is not a time to go into.
yeah.
Is dinner time relaxing for you guys a
In
little bit?
between, sometimes fine and sometimes not.
Okay. Then you could say, um, you could tell the boys, sometimes you guys get really, we want to use a positive word. I wouldn't say annoying or out of control because that doesn't inspire to do well.
Yeah,
So sometimes you guys have a lot of energy, and maybe you're flipping your lids a little bit. Do you talk with them about that?
Yeah. They
Okay.
don't like it because I think they understand it, but they don't like that I know that they.
Okay, they're looking for control because every time you give an idea, they're
Yes.
pushing back.
Yes,
And
exactly.
invite them. Well, okay, you don't love this. What else can we do? Can you come up with a different way to really think about your brain and where your energy goes when you are regulated and where you're not? You tell me. Maybe they'll come up with something interesting, and that's okay.
Yeah. I definitely am well aware of this whole control battle kind of thing, and which I didn't know about before. So I'm trying not to put things on them.
Yeah. And the more you start to give them control in positive ways, the less they'll seek it in negative ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and some language for that team. If they are like, we don't, first of all, if they say it rude, like, we don't like that, then you just want to model, oh, thank you for telling me you don't like this. Okay. And you're going to model that calm, respectful, because if you go into, and I don't know that you do this, but if you go into, well, that was rude, or, that I'm just trying to help here. If you go into any of that, then it takes the lesson that we're trying to go for. We lose
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you'd be like, oh, you don't like this. Thank you for telling me in the respectful tone for like level 4. I don't know if we've talked about level 4. Yeah. Okay. And you could even put just a silent cue over your heart. And don't even say anything about it. Oh, thank you for telling me. And you're putting your own voice in the level 4. And then you could give them the choice. Okay, well, tell me. I'm open to ideas. We're a team here. What do you think? Because my job as a mom is to equip you in tuning into your body. And then, when the time comes, when they're able to receive again or whatever, you can say, sometimes you guys get dysregulated, but use their whatever. And my job is to equip you. And I use that word. My job is to equip you. And this doesn't feel good, but what if I can support you when you're here? And a way I can do that is by saying, hey, do a check-in. Are you hungry? What is your body telling you? That type of thing. So, when my kids, it's definitely something and you could, you can use an I notice. I use an I notice. I notice you're getting a little short with your brother. Are you feeling hungry? Do you need to do a check-in? Are you thirsty? Like, what's your body's telling you something and it's coming out harshly, and maybe harsher than you intend. Always giving them an out.
Yeah.
Because then it just it inspires cooperation. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to overwhelm you. We talked about being more playful. The bed thing. I'm wondering about boundaries. We don't have to talk about that right now. We talked about believing Kit. And then not rescuing, but you can, and that's where this came in. You don't have to be like, oh my God, you're hungry, here's some food, eat, right? We can notice it before and offer an I wonder, it seems, I notice, tune in, and that type of thing. So it doesn't get to here.
Yeah.
You and I, we're going to spend the time either way. When they get here, then we're going to deal with that. Or when they get here, we can be like, oh, opportunity. He just snapped at his brother. But he's not here yet. I'm going to go in and offer a hug first. Maybe he needs a connection. Are you doing okay? That type of thing. And how's that energy doing? What is your body telling you? But you can say, sorry, this goes to inviting our children into the problem solving process. So handing the problem back to them, and just saying, we're a team here. And when your energy gets really big and unkind, then my energy kind of gets big and unkind, and we mirror each other. That's okay, because we're here, but we can do things to keep each other in a calm, cooperative energy. And that's what we want for each other, right? So you're just teaming with them. And when you're doing that, again, you're checking all the boxes. You're loading them up with attention. You're inviting their voice. You're giving them control.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how we can avoid rescuing, but also eliminating a little bit too. Eliminating the disaster. We're just gonna give them some tools before. So,
Yeah.
okay, then that's 3 things. I think that's enough, but I just want to remind of the buckling thing, and maybe you want to use that too to front load before the unbuckling.
Yes.
Okay, do you want to continue on, or does that feel like enough for today?
I think that's probably enough.
Okay, I'm gonna give you right now a link. Actually, I'm gonna give it to you right now. It's the link for the coaching call. It'll ask where you are in the modules, what lesson, what are you learning, a win, a learn, and a challenge. I call them taffy moments because we want to stay positive about it. And then I will mostly coach around that. But again, we'll do tangents, we'll make it meaningful, and you can go into the group, and say, oh my gosh, this happened. And I'm developing a really cool strategy right now, but I'm not ready to share it. We'll get you the meal plan. Are you excited about that?
Yeah, Sabia is a terrible eater.
Okay. Okay. That's a whole nother parenting realm. Okay, what am I doing here? I can't talk and function. Okay. Are you a multitasker?
No.
I would let it embarrass me, but I don't care. Okay. Okay, hold on. There we go. So just so you know, all the calls are recorded so that you have access to them anytime.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, okay. Coaching spreadsheet. So this spreadsheet is communal for all of us. So you're familiar with spreadsheets. If you were to edit someone else's stuff, it could disappear. So that's the unfortunate part, but it's just the best way that I have found to kind of let everyone contribute to one document that I can go through. And if parents are willing to take notes on another person's coaching, it helps everybody too, because then everyone can go back and be like, okay, what did Megan say without watching the video? So that's an option too. Okay, I am putting this in your Facebook chat.
Okay.
So that you have it at any time. And it's also in the group, in the private group. So, and it's tabbed to the top. So, as you go through each module, just hop in there, write kind of where you are and any challenges. You want me to open that and do a screen share, or do you feel like it might be pretty self-explanatory?
If you can show me briefly.
Okay, sure. All right, we'll do a screen share. You're going to see all my things. Oh, well, Okay. Can you see where my mouse is?
I can see my mouse.
See
All I've got is a black page. It just says it has started screen sharing. There, it's coming.
Oh, perfect. All right. Okay, hold on. Okay. So, yep, on this side, I'll just put the date, please. Okay. And then what program and what module and lesson can you see me clicking through here?
Yep.
Okay, so everyone has just, okay, this is the date, this is lesson 6, module 8, whatever it is. Your biggest takeaway so far, so your win that's happening, something that's worked, because we have to count those moments because that's what gets us, that's what really pulls us through. And your name and then your kiddo's first initials. If you don't feel, some parents don't want to put their full name, but just their first initial. And I see Miss Kristen didn't do that. And then, yeah. So your biggest takeaway that you're learning, a win that you're having, and then your taffy moment here. Okay. And yep, that's that. And then if you scroll over, I don't take notes here. If someone wants to, they can, but I post the link in this part, the recording link.
Okay. So you can see other parents' coaching calls?
It's group coaching.
Okay.
Which but you get, because the level that you purchased, you get 4 private one-on-ones with me that you schedule
So
anytime.
is that the okay? Right. So that's not like this session. That's
Nope, this is an onboarding.
the 1 week thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. This is but at the level you purchased, you can hop into any of the coaching calls. So I do it at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday. I do it at a 2 o'clock on that same Wednesday. And then I also do it right now. It's currently at hold on. I think because summer is winding in, it's a little wonky with all the activities and stuff that are going on. But it is, whoops, I believe it's at it's at 10 a.m. my time this Friday.
So that's 9 a.m. for me.
And you can hop in and on all of them. Or the cool thing is even if you're not able to make it, you write in your questions here. I'm still going to answer.
Okay. Okay. And then I'll be able to access the recording.
Yep.
Okay. No, that's cool.
Caveat, sometimes Zoom or my Fathom, sometimes the recording is lost, and I don't understand why, but I can't 100% guarantee there will be recording, but I try every time.
Okay.
I really try. So it should be there. It should be there.
I
Okay.
should be able to do the 2 p.m. on a Wednesday comfortably.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, Kristen's little girls are 5 and 2.
Okay.
So yeah, let's see. We'll get you the meal plan. And you have, again, 4 private one-on-ones, hour long, anytime you want to schedule those within the duration of the program.
Yeah.
After the program's over, you'll be invited to just maintain this and get into our membership. Parents who don't, it's a practice, and you lose some of the, even me with my guy, you just lose some of the stuff. Even my speech degree, right? I'm just losing if we don't practice it. We do, or talk about it, we do lose it. So we'll invite you to that at the end.
And this is 16 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Any questions? Anything else?
No, I think you've given me lots, but all over the place. So
I just want to mention one more thing. So some parents like to print out all the action tasks so they can kind of build a journal over time. But you don't have to do
in the
that.
modules. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Or you can just write the prompts down. It is very, very simple. Overwhelming is not growing, so they're pretty simple. But yes, some parents like to print those out and kind of build a binder, a journal over time. So that's an option. Is that something you think you want to do or no?
Yeah, possibly.
Okay. I try to not use a lot of color because I know that can waste ink. I was mindful of that. I try to be mindful of that.
Yeah, I'll see. I keep a diary anyway, so I'll.
Oh, okay. And then co-baking, is that something you want to join in on also?
It just depends on the time.
Okay. It's at 5 o'clock my time.
On which day?
Wednesday. Wednesday's a busy day.
So it would be 4 p.m.
On
Wednesday. And Kit he has taekwondo twice a week, Mondays and Wednesdays at 30. So and that's going to go through summer.
Okay.
So unfortunately, that sounds like maybe I'm not, but I am. One of the main things I do want to do is get the boys in the kitchen, especially with summer coming, where I've got them for 9 weeks or something. Um, I'd
Yeah.
really like to do that, and I think when you said the cooking is not the point, then I sort of realized that actually it's a if I can get them on board and enthusiastic about being in the kitchen and helping one another, then and maybe eventually we make this crack team of chefs. That's not the goal. The goal is to just I do want more cooperation in the kitchen. So yes, the cool baking would be good, but I mean it's quite important. Kid goes to taekwondo.
Yeah, but you can just record your
Yeah,
kitchen sessions. If you let them know that you're recording, it's going to change everything.
yeah, yeah.
If you just put it on your phone, you can you can put a video straight into the Facebook group, and I can analyze it, or you can put it on as a video, however you want to do it, and then honestly, if you feel comfortable putting it into the Facebook group, then I can go through and, oh, look what you said here. How can you give more power here? What do you notice here? And it'll be a therapeutic coaching session
Yeah.
all on its own.
I'm not sure how comfortable I am with this, but I've got to just take it on.
If you're not comfortable, then just maybe record it on a Zoom. I guess you
Okay.
have to pay for Zoom. Do you already have Zoom?
No.
Okay. Um, maybe you can just email it to me.
Okay.
Um,
Do I have an email address for you?
Megan at connectedkidsthrive.com.
Okay.
And I mean, the great thing is when a parent does feel comfortable kind of, sharing what's going on, then we all benefit. And you don't feel so alone because everyone's struggling, you know.
Oh,
But
I know, and I'm gonna get there.
but privacy is a big deal too. And if that's something that is important, I can totally honor that too. So you can email the video to me and I want you to watch it first and then pick out, um, actually when you watch it first, you will notice all kinds of things.
I
But
can notice it while I'm saying it. It's awful.
you know what? Do a redo.
Yeah,
Do like you're like, oh, opportunity. I can model this let my kids know I'm not perfect. I'm trying these things too. I'm gonna redo this. You could be doing 20 redos a day and that's okay. You come off harsh, redo. I didn't like how I sounded there. I'm
I
not trying to
actually, I actually wondered. I mean, but he's a really intelligent 6-year-old. He's lacking a bit of the EQ side of things, but we'll build that. Uh, but he's really bright, and I wondered if I should invite him on this journey with me,
yeah.
because I think he might be more invested rather than me just trying out different phrases on him. Um, so it's just I think I need to do that. I think it's part of our relationship. I'm pretty open with him. Um, so I think that just that might help. He might start getting on at me. Well, what are you learning now, Mom?
Oh my gosh, Robyn, yes. And you said before, right, that he said, "Hey mom, you need to take another class."
Yes.
Right? My
Well, it
daughter
wasn't
said,
said encouragingly.
I know. But you can always give him the benefit of the doubt and pull in a little bit of playfulness, and you can say, hey buddy, or whatever pet name you have, like, remember when you said I should take another parent, like I should get more skills and tools. I'm going to do that, and I want to share with you what I'm learning every day if you want to know, or
Yeah,
however you um however you think that he will,
yeah,
and I want to share with you if you're interested. Give him
yeah,
an because
yeah,
if I want to share with you, he's gonna be like, no,
yeah,
because you're telling me. But if we say, if you're interested, would you like me to share with you what I'm learning? And then if he says no, you could be like, oh, okay, well, let me know if you change your mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
It gives him an out.
Because I often wonder if I overshare. Like, he's only 6. um, and I do think maybe occasionally.
Yeah. And you're so academically, driven, and that's such a huge part of who you are. So
Yeah.
I think really awareness that you might overshare things. Um, just notice if he enjoys it, if it lights him up. And you can ask him, hey, do I overshare things with you? Does it make you uncomfortable? Like and that's going to help him tune into his emotions. Because you're right. His IQ is probably wah, but his EQ, probably like yours and mine,
Yeah.
isn't so great.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm learning this is a new realm for me too.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. No, that's good advice.
yeah. Um, okay. So my girl Janice will be sending you the link to your email. You'll be able to get your own login credentials to get into the modules. And yeah, just one module a week and it'll go, or you can do more. If you get too far behind, then it can feel you do get this forever, but
I'll
it's
never do it if I don't do it now.
right, right. So I invite you just to kind of, commit to that. And yeah, yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, sorry, you were saying about the video. If I were to post it in the group or the co-baking, I would pick out what I think are trouble spots or how I'd like to work on that particular thing.
Yep, just pick out a certain spot, like from this minute to this minute, I need clarity. What could I do differently? It's not coming to me.
Yeah.
Or I think I should do this. Would you have any input? And I'd be happy to be like, okay, yeah, we could avoid it by giving power here, giving a choice, blah, blah, blah. So whether you put it into the group or just do it privately to my email, I still want you to view it. And then again, it's such a teaching. And don't feel, you might have moments of like, oh my gosh, I knew better. I shouldn't have done that. Don't shit all over yourself. Okay. Um, did you like that pun? Don't shit all over yourself.
Yeah.
Just um just be open to receiving the lesson that it can teach, and you're only growing from there. So I resist watching videos of myself because it's embarrassing. I mess up all the time, but that's how we learn best, is those reflective moments. Um, okay. So yeah, review the videos and then let me know if you have any trouble spots, and I'm happy to troubleshoot with you.
Okay.
Okay. Can you still see me?
Yep.
Okay. All right. And if for any reason there's any issue, of course, I'm just a text away, a message away. So
No, thank you.
you're welcome. Next coaching call is Wednesday. So
Yes.
what?
Wednesday, 2 p.m. your time.
Yes. So if there's any, you can name all your issues, all the challenges that came up, but just prioritize them, what
Okay.
you really want to dig deep on. That way we can cover it. Because,
Okay.
yeah. And then, okay.
And I put that in the group, is that right?
Nope, on this spreadsheet.
Oh, list issues on spreadsheet.
But if you have something that cannot wait, you're like, help me now, then post that in the group. Like,
Okay. Okay.
my kid just stole
Okay.
something, or, I'm about to lose my mind and I need some support or something.
Okay. Okay. All right. But list any issues and list and prioritized.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll get there.
Yeah. Or your main one this week, because yeah, your main one or two or three. Try and keep it to three because we can go so deep on one or two or three.
Okay.
So
How many people are in the group?
um Currently, for this time frame, it's just going to be you and Kristen right now.
Okay.
And then, another parent comes mostly to the noon or the 10 o'clock one on Fridays, but you're welcome to, you can do any of them. And then I have Australian parents that cannot come to either of those, so they come at 5. There's other people in the group who've gone through the program before. They get to be in there. And there's some other people that are in there for other reasons too. But they're all parents. It's all confidential stuff. And
okay. And how long is that group called?
It's called the Connecting in the Kitchen method.
How long?
How long is it?
Is the group call? Yeah.
Oh, the coaching call, an hour. But if we go over, actually, I do kind of have to have a hard stop because I got to go get summer's almost here. So yeah, an hour.
Okay.
An hour. Yep.
No, that sounds good.
Okay. You've got some things to work on for the next few days. The buckle, the playfulness, the believing him, and the not rescuing but equipping and reducing. So
yes.
all right.
I'm going to go through here and highlight because I've written half sentences. So I don't know how useful that is.
I will give you this recording also. How about that?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, no problem. All right.
Yeah. Thank you. I think that's, and then the rest will come by email and I'll take it from there.
Yes.
Okay. No, that's great. Thank you very much. We'll see how this goes.
All right. You're welcome. You're welcome. I will talk to you soon.
Okay. Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.